able to have a sending stone with someone in the bastion?
Ooh.
Your the facilities come with helpers. So those are
Yes.
those are the ones you can send bastion orders.
Yeah, there's like maybe a communications person in one of the workshops or something.
Yeah,
All right. I
but
wasn't sure if I need to like create a contact line of some kind or if I just have one starting out.
but keep in mind that a quote bastion turn is every 7 days. So if you like send an order now, you like if you ask them like say
The outcome only is at the end of the 7 days. Yeah.
yeah.
And didn't you say you want it to be like a month-long thing for us, or am I just remembering weird?
In the Bastion thing in the player handbook, it says they can be longer or shorter. It just depends on how the campaign's set up. It said.
Yeah.
Okay. Just for I remember saying Bastion turns like once a month instead of 7 days.
Usually 7 days.
Okay, as long as that's all good. Probably just gonna be maintaining anyway. I just want to like contact them and be like, hey, what happened for the maintenance round?
And then I think the idea is every 30 days is when a bastion event happens that I roll for.
Yep, that's what I'm excited for. Maybe the workshop will need some help or something,
Or an important guest is staying, or or the worst case is bastion get attacks.
Yep. I don't. Oh yeah, that's what I was checking the rules for because I think I just have hirelings. I don't think I even have defenders yet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So that might be yeah. If it's attacked, yeah, I'll have to be like, oh, my home was under attack. We don't have protectors.
Yeah, that just means they'd probably kill everybody and just leave it. You'd have to spend more money to hire people.
And Singe is for the moment broke.
I was only kind of like half paying attention to what was being said there because I was getting myself set up, but I love that I tuned back into the whole Bastion talk partially, and then I hear you say Singe is broke, and I'm just imagining it being like, all right, everyone get to work. Also, I don't have anything to pay you with.
If you need money, Steve's got plenty. He had plenty coming up
Ha!
for his Valentine's Day
But
event.
it made money from his Order of the Last Breath recruitment.
Yep, he's rolling in the dough right now.
Hello.
So all the
Yeah, you.
dolls and statues
There
we
he
have
goes.
are all piggy banks.
Nobody piggies my bank.
Ha ha.
I don't even know what that means. Wait, why are we back at the tavern?
This is the lobby.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, just the facility, which wouldn't be ideal, but
Yes.
still.
The fart.
Yeah, for some reason I can't get voice mod to work.
So, you mean through Discord?
Yeah,
Okay, so I had to go through a whole process in order to get mine to work.
but it's weird because it worked. It worked last week. It worked last time, but now it's like it's if I just don't have a mic at all.
Okay, so I had to do change settings in Windows and change settings in Discord in order to get mine to work properly.
What'd you have to do?
Give me a second.
I
so
know
Discord.
I know
Discord.
I know VoiceMod has its own voice thing that I did change it to before.
Yep. So in Discord for voice and video, input device should say microphone, voice mod, virtual audio device, WDM.
Okay.
And then your output is your headset.
Okay.
All right, so give that a try, see if anything happens.
All right. You know what? You know what? I think tonight I'll go without it. It's fine. Also, because I'm too lazy to.
If he's
I was just hitting buttons now while we're waiting.
Well, Otto's gonna be late, so we can play without him. So
Yeah.
Barack Obama.
uh,
Where
Hey,
we leave
Rock,
off?
what'd you fact up?
y'all went to see Silas, who was gonna give you a ride to an airship ride to the Deadlands.
You did bring me Silas, and then conserve for last for re.
Okay, I'm done. Sorry.
So I take it all of you get a long rest.
Yep. Andonia, she decided after the interaction with Silas and then Steve refusing to give his information that he knew about Ugo, that she was outside the door, and that's where she was camping out by herself. She didn't want to be around anyone after that.
Okay.
Steve slept inside, and Steve still feels confused because he knows nothing of Ugo besides just the stories he's heard of him.
Oh, sorry, I almost forgot. You're live, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, both of us are live.
Yeah. I gotta get
Oh,
late.
where is it?
Did Edonia put down Singe too, then?
As I walked through the door, I set him at the doorway.
You said you wanted to be alone, though, so I got the impression you put down Singe or something.
Yeah, that's what I said. I set him down in the doorway as I passed through it to go outside.
Okay, I misunderstood that. Oh, geez. Okay.
I can't for the life of me remember why I was missing like 7 hit points.
Yeah, it's because y'all had that quick little encounter in the tavern. Like that.
Oh yeah, and I didn't take a lot of damage from it because he was afraid of me. But
Well, I was also healing people.
yeah, that too.
Yeah,
I was just trying to figure it
his-
out because I was like, I know we took a long rest, but I was like, what did we do that made me take only 7 damage?
Yeah, I think his primary focus of damage was Andonia.
Yeah. Damn, I should have incensed cursed at him instead of fear cursing him, because then he couldn't leave because he wouldn't be able to see or hear anything.
So everybody gets a long rest. This also unfortunately means that the benefit the fortune teller got you is now gone.
Yeah.
What benefit?
Long rest.
Oh yeah, I should probably hit long rest. It's been too long. I forgot how to do it. There we go. Long rest. Take a long rest. Confirmed.
Those y'all. So I guess Steve, as you're coming back downstairs, the butler kind of tries to get your attention, saying, present these papers to the crew for your flight." And he kind of like presents a parchment to you.
Eh,
We'll do so.
and
And then
as
we'll take the scrolls and put them in his pocket.
Okay.
as that's happening, Antonia is just gonna pretty much with authority. She's gonna walk in, pretty much shoulder check past Steve to the butler, and she'll stop in front of him and she'll go.
I wish to speak with Lord Blackwood.
I believe he's in his personal study. Very well, hold a moment. Eh,
Where's Faye?
Hey.
I was outside with everybody, resting.
I see Otto. Oh, okay. But then I'll probably like Singe will probably just shyly walk over.
He'd probably pick you up, put it on his, or put you on his shoulder as he's getting himself, checking through his stuff and everything after to sleep.
While we're
Just kind of
sitting
idling
there,
while we wait for everybody to group
Oh,
up.
while we're sitting there waiting for the butler and Lord Blackwood to come back, Silas would like to ask Antonia what is her problem.
She's gonna look back, snarl, lift up her right leg, and above the table. Before he said that, I was gonna mention, I think someone was right. Whoever said it 2 weeks ago when we last played, we need like a counter on the stream that says
Yeah,
Antonia
that was
fart.
me. I was like, we need a tally for how many times Steve says the wrong name and how many times you use the fart. And then just have Late have like a hotkey on his keyboard or Stream Deck or whatever he's using that makes it so that way when he presses it, it adds one to the tally.
I need to get me a stream deck.
I think Pharaoh's got one if I remember
no,
correctly because he used to do
I
streaming.
I was a sponsored streamer for like 4.5 years. I also worked for the company that sponsored me, and I had 2 stream decks. I had a whole fucking mic setup with
Yeah,
mixing board. I mean, I had the whole 9
soundproof
yards.
foam all over the walls. Yeah.
And then when the company sold itself and got rid of everybody that it sponsored, partnered with, or that worked for them, that was like kind of kicking the ass to me, and I didn't feel like streaming anymore.
The butler's
I've,
coming
I've,
back.
I've been thinking about coming back.
I stream here and there, but usually it's just like a quick, I want to play this game, and if anybody wants to watch it, they can go ahead and do it.
My main thing I got to do in order to get back into streaming is I need to get a capture card.
the butler finally comes back saying, Master Blackwood will see you now. We'd also like to see Master Steve too as well.
And Donia's just gonna turn and look with the snarl on her face.
Follow
Be
me.
going after me. If you follow me, it will not be very. Wait here. You're next.
Steve will just walk past her and shoulder bump her on his way past.
Of course.
So her response to that is she's gonna do her Simic ability at him as kind of like a warning, more at his feet, not at him. And she's gonna acid spit and right in front of him.
I just mopped that.
Stop
Well, now
making
you're
a
gonna have to puff it
mess.
too because it's acidic.
Do you see
Good thing.
see one of the guards kind of turns and looks at that?
And she's gonna look at the and Donia will look at the butler and look at the guard, and she'll say, "That
The result of I requested to meet with Lord Blackwood. He called for me first. He should wait his turn. And he decided to shove past me. That was my reaction to his rudeness.
Steve will look back at her and say, "He called for us both. Don't think too highly of yourself," and keep walking.
And Donya's gonna sit right where she's at on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And she's gonna kind of prop herself up with the family staff as she's just watching him.
So is Steve gonna enter the study or just hang out there?
Steve will look back at her and ask, "Are you really going to pout? I thought we were all grown-ups here. Let's go."
That was her response. Yeah, remember she's still young.
How
So of course she's gonna pout.
how old is Antonia?
She's 18.
Ah,
So she's still has a lot to figure out, but she's also she knows manners from her mother and her father, but she also knows when to stand up for herself. So when that's why I said when she said she requested for his to be in his presence and he came back and said that it was her and then Steve. That's why she figured she's just gonna pout because she requested the audience, so she should have gone first.
I mean you could always shoulder charge and try and get in there first and close the door.
No, she already acid spit on the floor, which by the way, she's going to politely apologize and bow while she or sort of bow while she's sitting there on the floor while Steve's walking away, and then she's going to attempt to clean it up the best that she can.
Steve would, I guess, stop before he goes in, looks back, and says, "If you must go first, go ahead."
And she's gonna look up. She can put her left hand out. No.
You made it clear you were going first. I am cleaning up the mess I made.
With that, Steve would go inside.
Yes. Singe is gonna hop down, give Adonia a little pat, and then go over to the little acid stain on the ground and try to do mending on it.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved over to where the spit was, so spit should be right about there. Is where I spit,
All right.
attempting to clean it.
Steve, as you enter, Salas kind of not even looking, kind of waves his fingers, and the doors close.
I just hear a guitar.
I was about to ask that.
Doorbell. And Steve would look to Lord Blackwood and say, "You called for me, sir?"
I'm going to drag Steve into a secret channel. I can find it. Where is it? Oh.
I think that's the one of the benefits of playing online over being in person is yeah, you get less physical expression from the players in DM, but at the same time, if necessary, you can blind out players to what's being said.
Yeah.
All right, so talk among yourselves and we'll be back.
Among
Works for me.
Among Us.
exactly what I was.
All right. So as you enter, Silas is kind of like is I would say probably within a few seconds of just entering, Klaus comes out as well. And you see he's kind of flipping through some papers and kind of leaning a little, kind of like being thoroughly, and then he looks saying, "Oh, good, you're here. I wanted a moment alone." Are you? He kind of like trying to make sure that Klaus is there, not Steve.
Klaus would look at him and say, I'm always here, whether or not I'm in control.
Good. Based on my contact with some of your other compatriots, even if you want to call them that, I have growing concerns on this Donia. I feel like she is maybe meddling in affairs that are not her own. You know me, I don't like problems.
If she becomes a problem to interfere with my plans or yours, I'd make sure to set her straight.
Also, one other thing, I'm tired of waiting. As he kind of like brings his hand up, you barely see it, but you see like the smallest thread kind of thin from his flicks it. Your vision goes white for about a second. Looks to you and saying, though I'm not familiar with things of the mind, this should hopefully expedite you in getting your memories back. So, for next 3 tries of you trying to recover anything about your past, you'll have advantage. Basically, aiding you with magic.
Sweet. He would look at him. Thank you, old friend.
Well, I guess there's no delaying what she'll find out whatever she wants. He just lets out a sigh.
um, above table, would Klaus know about the Order of the Last Breath, or did that happen after he had already died?
Unless you want to say these are plans him and Silas were already started, but maybe Silas already like because of your accent, he went ahead and kind of got the ball rolling.
Okay, yeah, I'll play it as we had talked about, spitballed the idea around. Silas, did anything ever come of the idea me and you talked about before starting our own group?
He kind of flips through a book saying, according to the latest roster, we have about 50 members. Well, not you. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. 47, then. Those 3 pissed me off.
And how
Well,
many
it's like
members-
babysitting children.
And how many members do we have that are undeaths that aren't among the living?
About 14.
Do we have any? Do you have a symbol or anything you can give me that I can keep on this body to keep with me in case I ever need it when I'm out there and I have control.
Suddenly, he kind of flips a bunch of papers and then hands you the emblem.
Thank you. And one last thing before I leave. You should probably talk to Steve so he has some thing to tell the group when he goes out there. He does not seem the brightest.
Yeah, say he kind of opens like this large tome, kind of pulls out a parchment thing. I don't know if you'll remember, but here. And she flicks his finger again. Vision goes white for a second again, saying, "He'll at least remember getting this from me." And you engagement. Parchment.
All right. Now it's on in my Stever claw still.
As long as you're near Silas, you're Klaus. The moment you leave, that's when Steve will.
Okay. And he'll say, I still have my ring on this body, so you can communicate with me, need be.
Nods and let's outside, saying, "Well, tell the child she can come in."
Will do.
We're open and all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steve will walk out.
All right. So at that point, as he's walking out, I am going to. I moved up some right there by the door, if you can see, late.
Uh-huh.
So as he's walking out, Andonia is going to take the family staff and just stick it out at ankle level.
Trip move.
She's not trying to hide it. She's just sticking it out. Just hoping he's not paying attention.
I'll say, Steve, make a perception check just to see if you actually notice that on your way out.
Do I got to roll anything? You want sleight of hand?
Yeah.
He might dex save if anything. Oh,
I'll say it'll be as.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I rolled an 8 on my perception.
I got a 5.
So I'll say as you walk out, you see in the peripheral, you see Indonia stick out something.
Can I, as a reaction, make a athletics check and try and kick it away from me and try and kick it against the wall?
Yeah.
So is that going to be a strength check then on me to be able to hold on to it?
Yeah.
Probably an athletics versus athletic.
Well, is it athletic versus athletic or athletic versus strength?
Athletics versus athletics.
All right.
That's a 26.
Jesus. I got a 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it goes flying under your hand and smacks about here against the wall. With a loud clatter.
As it smacks against it, Steve would walk over, pick it up, and hand it to her and tell her to quit her childish games.
You wouldn't be able to pick it up.
Okay. Well, then he would just look at her and tell her
Yeah.
to quit her childish games.
Yeah, it's
No,
above the table.
Because of the he can pick it up. It's just that he can't actually use it as a weapon.
I thought.
So he wouldn't be able to withdraw the scythe at all.
Well, I thought when Singe above the table, when he was first on my shoulder 2 weeks ago, he went to poke it and it kind of gave him a reaction because he was trying to touch it. That's what you said.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's because he poked the blade.
It could be a bit of a magical thing since I'm such a magical creature.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so like staff state, we can go with what you're saying. Staff state, you could pick it up, but there's gonna be like no benefits. It's not gonna be able to deploy the scythe. It's got to have the bloodline touching it.
Basically, it'd be like he's picking up
A
a
walking
staff. Yeah, a
Yeah,
walking
it would just be a
staff.
standard non-magical quarterstaff if it's not in your hands.
So yeah, then Steve would pick it up, look to Adonia, and hold it out to her and say, "Here, stop with your childish games."
She'll grab it and look right at him, dead in the eyes, straight faced. Stop.
Withholding Hugo's information.
I do not have any information. I'm not withholding anything.
And when he says that, she's just gonna brush on by and make her way toward the doorway and wait for Blackwood to acknowledge. She's not just, she's proud. She's got her manners. She's not just gonna walk in.
Probably not too long. You hear enter. The doors close behind you.
Steve will walk back over to the.
Now drag you to the secret channel.
It is a secret.
The secret.
The crab.
So as you walk in. Silas is just sitting at his desk, kind of glasses, kind of like these half spectacles at the very end of his nose. Working away. Not even looking up. He says, "You requested an audience. What do you want?"
She'll take a quick knee to acknowledge, he's the Lord. This is his house. And she'll stand up.
Here, Blackwood. If at all possible, would, if you could give a message to my father the next time you see or speak with him. I would like my father to know that my mother, Tessa of the Starskin, spoke highly of his adventures, spoke proud of everything that my father did, and even to her last breath, he even praised what he did against Vecna and the defeat that he did. And she loved him dearly. And on my behalf, I miss my father and would like him to know this.
What would you like him to know? He's now just like it's almost like one of those like old man looks where he's just kind of looking like over his glasses.
I would like my father to know that even though I've never met him physically, I myself do feel a strong connection to him. I miss him. I do my best every day to withhold, or not withhold, but uphold the morals and family values and mother and instill upon me that she said was handed down from her and him. And I would just like the chance to get to know him. If he ever decides he wants to come forward, I'm not gonna withhold any grudge against him for not being there for the last 18 years. I want to get to know my father.
Very well, I can arrange a meeting if that is something you would like.
if he would like, if he's still hesitant on who I am or who I'm not, he should know my mother's name and Tessa of the Star Skin. If he would prefer to even watch me from a distance, if he does, if he can just give me some kind of sign that he's there.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
And she'll take a bow since she has a visual acknowledgement from him. Thank you.
For Blackwood, and thank you for the help with the.
I'm trying to think of what we call it now. The ship. Are we just calling it
Yeah.
Skyship?
Yeah. And he also, there's one other business I wanted to talk to you away from the others. This Ugo that you're hunting. He's in the possession of an item that is of great interest to me in my business. I have something that can assist you, but there is a condition. I want this item procured and brought back to me.
I can assure you, Lord Blackwood, that the only thing that I wish, and that the lady and queen and goddess that I follow wishes is his physical being. Anything that's on him, you're welcome to.
Very well. He kind of turns, kind of walks over to a shelf, kind of pulls out this small kind of metal box, walks it over to his desk, and kind of motions you to come closer.
And she'll keep her hands behind her, kind of like a military thing, and she'll walk up to the desk.
You see him open the box, and it's it's a small kind of glass orb. You see, as you kind of look inside, you see there's a swirling of almost a faint beat of light. It's there for a second. That you see almost as pointing to the left, vanishes. This is a scry orb. Attached, it's not tracking him, it is tracking the item I am after. As long as you're within 1 mile of him, it'll tell you the general direction he's at. And he'll close it and kind of put it up on that second shelf for you, to you.
I'll, kind of nod my head, and I'll take it, put it into my backpack. Now, above the table, does this only show a direction, or does it say like how far away in that direction?
It only shows a direction, like, from where you are, it'll show you whether he's east, south, north, west. But like, as you get closer, the orb will react. So basically, it'll be like almost like a GPS tracking, get almost like the trackers that louder as you get closer to the source. It'll have that effect as you get closer to it.
So like the light will get brighter the closer I am.
Yeah, but right now,
Okay, gotcha.
but right at this moment, it's only pointing. From what you saw, was only pointing west.
But it does that if I'm within a mile,
As long as you're within a mile of him,
or a mile of the item.
yeah.
Okay. How long does it take to travel a mile?
Depends by horseback or by foot.
It'll be by foot unless you allow me some kind of usage of the hell portal. not for the entire mile, you know what I'm saying? But like, if I got some kind of usage out of it, it would, you know, shorten the time.
By foot, probably hour, maybe an hour and a half.
Okay.
I mean, that's if you like really like at brisk walk. He'll then kind of sit down in the chair and kind of wave his hand. The doors open.
And then as the doors open, Antonio will lean forward after reaching into her pocket, not the backpack, but her actual pocket.
Okay.
And she's gonna pull it out, or she's gonna have something in her hand, and she's gonna extend her hand over to Lord Blackwood. And as she's extending it, she's gonna kind of whisper, because now the doors are open.
Mm-hmm.
If my father questions, and there's any doubt, this is the trinket that he gave my mother the night that they were together.
And she's gonna turn her hand palm up, open her hand, and it's gonna be a fragment from one of his claws.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
kind of like set up so it's a necklace.
Okay. He nods, and you just hear in your head, "Very well," and he'll take it. Nod and then say loudly, "That'll be all."
And she'll bow, and then the next part's going to involve them seeing it. So
Yeah, I'll move up.
See here.
Oh,
I come back and he's in his fire form.
I will cast healing hands on myself and just heal the neck.
Are you gonna keep holding me?
So,
Yeah, just keep holding it.
so
Is he-
Swinging it,
Phaelor
start swinging it
kinda-
around.
Phaelor's gonna look over and be
Oh
like,
my
it
God.
might be best to put that one down. That is the one that seems to move on its own. I don't know if it likes being held like that.
You also notice that like the walls are actively like burning and getting charred behind him. Probably the candles on each side are rapidly melting.
Well, he's also in Steve's hand right now, so
Yeah, I'm holding him upside down.
Oh,
I'm waiting
as
for
long
them
as
to
he
pop-
holds, as long as he
The
holds me, I'm
context-
maintaining this form. I'm gonna run to the washroom where you guys catch him up and sort it out.
all right, so since we're back in here, the doors open. Antonio is going to come up to
Are you
the
still
butler.
gonna hold him?
I'll hold him until if we get a reaction from Silas or somebody if he comes out. If
But
there's a
you
reaction,
also
I'll keep holding him.
take 9 points of fire damage.
I'll heal it with healing hands.
So Antonia is going to come up to the butler, and she's going to, all manners and politely,
Apologize for the incident with the floor. Is there anything that needs to be done? Is there repair costs?
I would say you see the Butler's like not even paying attention. He's just staring at this other incident now that he now has to deal with.
I'd
Steve will
say
look
as
Alright, so-
Antonia comes
Steve
out,
will
he
look over.
probably Phaelor kind of looks over and is like, there you are, Antonia. There's a bit of a situation here, but I don't know how to handle it exactly.
Steve will look at Adonia as she comes out and says, "Welcome back, and we should try and put the past behind us." And while he's
And
still holding
she's-
it and just twirling it around, trying to put out his name, but he's
Not-
trying to make
not-
it bigger.
yeah, not knowing what they're doing and the discussion that just took place, she's going to come around the backside of the butler, and as she's walking past them, just very stern and authoritative, she's just going to not even look at them. She's just going to say it as she's walking past. My duty
Falls. I'm leaving.
And she's gonna make for the door.
I would say during these early mornings, you see like the sunlight that's in the sky, and now it gets much darker as you see as from the doorway. You see large kind of dark shadow kind of moving uh toward the house.
So someone's coming toward the house.
It's just this large shadow. You all you're seeing is this large shadow moving toward the house.
I'm gonna pull out the certain little box. What does it tell me?
Still same direction.
All right, so yeah, because I'm looking in the. Currently standing in the direction I would have been, and so if it's pointing to my left, that's the doorway.
Yeah.
Is it any brighter or still the same?
About the same.
Okay, so I'm not gonna be any what do you want to call it? Alarmed, since it's still the same brightness. And I'm still gonna head for the door. I'm gonna go to about here. Not worried about the shadow since it's not pertaining to my duty. Duty.
Duty.
I swear, if you hit the button.
It got really blue.
Also, Steve, since are you still holding onto it?
Yeah,
Taking the 12 points of fire damage.
I'll heal it. Wait, lay on hand from other hand.
Keep in mind, as long as you're holding it, every 6 seconds you're going to take fire damage.
Have
I
we
swear
caught,
that was not me pushing the button, but that sounded like a fart, whatever that was.
I assume
we-
it was either the doorbell or like a car.
have we caught the attention of Silas or anybody else yet?
Probably.
Singe
Think-
did say in the general chat that as he burns, he is whistling like a teapot.
he kind of walks outside saying, "What the fuck is going on?"
That is an excellent question, indeed. Our small friend appears to be undergoing some kind of critical heat, and my other friend here does not want to let go of them.
Being as I am right now, being this close to him, I will say this little doll thing seems very interesting. I may have to dissect it later.
He kind of like, "Can you at least take that out to the yard where you're not burning my house down?"
Steve will drop it and wipe his hands off on his pants. This is brick. It will not burn. And walk off, laughing.
He kind of looks down at Singe sitting there, looks over at Steve, and then looks over to Silas and is like, "I do apologize for the small one lighting on fire. I have never seen him do this before. Also, yes, I do believe that it is alive, but it does not move much."
He holds out a hand toward Singe, kind of mutters something, kind of rotates his hand, and you see Singe kind of float into the air, and then as he moves his hand over the rapids, kind of he pretty much just moves him outside. The weight of his hand.
He just kind of force grabbed Singe and then moved him away.
Yep.
Oh man, you said that so I can do this.
Hello there.
There's Obi-Wan. Hello there.
General Kenobi.
And they'll just walk up to the burn mark, cast prestidigitation, and clean the soot, then turn and walk back into his study.
As he's walking away, Phalar, trying to be respectful as he can, despite the situation that Blackwood just walked in on, kind of is just like, I do hope that the rest of your day finds you well.
Yes, you too. Out in Donia, as you're walking outside, you see a large shape, sky ship. As lower down, now see one of the crew members is throwing a ladder off a side.
As we're walking out, and I'm walking with Phalor, I'll look over to him while I'm still under the effects and say, "You kind of remind me of a lightning fellow I once knew. It was quite odd. Not odd in an odd way, but odd in a good way, you could say. And
Oh,
as we
yes,
walk through the door, he'll snap back.
By this point, then back to normal.
All right, what were you saying?
As you are, saying that, Phalar's listening, and he's like, one with power of lightning, that's something I don't see often, but yes, I take no offense to being called odd. I find myself to be an oddity. It is unique in its own right, though. Everyone has their oddities.
Real quick, above the table, I just realized that one of the statues in front of me in the square has a pumpkin on its head.
Above table, is Phalor a elf?
He is what's called a disembodied, so he is formerly an elf, but his skin is like ghost sheet white.
And
So he's got
like part of him is
tiny ears and stuff, and then all of the like purple bits on him. It's like behind like that purple kind of phantasmal glow. There's like you can see his skeletal structure wherever those patches are.
I'll be right back.
So it's like little spots of purple X-ray across his body, but other than that, he's like kind of a very thinned out, pale white elf.
Does Phalor know the I can't say the word anymore. Sylvan?
Let me see. Da-da-da-da-da. He does not. He knows Abyssal, Celestial, Draconic, Infernal, and Thieves' Cant.
Okay, so he doesn't even know Elfish.
He doesn't even know common.
Well, yeah, Common is on there. I was just saying the ones that are.
I was like, man, you threw me for a loop. I'm like, you've been talking to us this whole time. You don't even know how to speak.
Yeah,
All
Common
we hear
is. Yeah, his unique languages are Abyssal, Celestial, Draconic, Infernal, and Thieves' Cant. I would flavor it mostly as the fact that, well, above table, it's because if I would have been able to, I would have chosen Elven or Sylvan as another language, but due to character creation constraints, I'm just gonna go ahead and whip up the cop-out explanation of he spent so long away from his people he forgot how to speak it.
Yeah, that works too.
So it looks like Bob Ross is here.
Would he understand if somebody said something to him in Sylvan or Elfish?
I don't. I would assume so, but
the way I see it is that it would seem like I think it'd be more like you're able to read it but can't speak it.
yeah, like I can't personally speak it, but because I used to be an elf, I do know bits and pieces of the two.
So if somebody
Like,
said
if-
something to him, he might
It's like-
understand bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, like I can probably. It's like me IRL. I know a little bit of German. I can speak a little bit of German, but I can look at something that somebody has written or said, and I can translate it better than I can speak it.
Like, I was imagining it as, in modern times, all right, I'm an old man, so Ebonics, that's a form of English from like bad areas of neighborhoods and stuff like that. So it would be like if someone came up to him and spoke Ebonics, they know it's English, but he has no idea what you're saying.
All right, so the airship is there. They throw down a rope ladder for if y'all want to climb up.
All right. Before we walk out the door, in Sylvan, Steve will say to Phalor, "You would make a good addition to the group," and then walk through as his last words.
Taylor kind of takes a moment as they're walking out with his head slightly tilted, looking through his head because, he's rusty with it. And then he kind of, acknowledges it, but since he can't really respond in Sylvan, he just kind of looks up and kind of there's just like a passive thing. It's like, maybe we'll have to discuss what you mean by that at a later date.
And as Steve's already through the door, he'll look at him and say, "What are you talking about?"
And he'll kind of pause for a moment, look down at himself, look back up to Steve, and just be like, it's a bit of a self-remark. Not to worry about it. So he pretty much is just brushing it off, like, oh, I was talking to myself. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
So at this point, Andonia is going to acknowledge the rope ladder got thrown in front of her from the airship, and she's going to turn. And I'm assuming everybody's around her now, including Bob Ross. As he's in the voice chat, but he's muted.
Hi, Jerry.
Hello, Jerry.
Hello, Jerry.
Oh, father from Rick and Morty.
Hello. I'm still not home, but I'll try.
Oh, you're not home yet. Okay.
You haven't missed a whole lot. The airship just got here. There was a little bit of bickering between two of the characters. Singe got lit on fire for a moment.
You would never guess who was bickering.
Love bickering. Obviously, always gonna be Steve.
Don't throw Steve under the bus like that. Steve would
Just
never.
obviously always Steve.
Steve would never.
Oh, never.
I love that. All right, so Andonia is going to acknowledge that the ladder is there. She's going to turn the rest of everybody else. And just, the whole stern, authoritative voice.
Fritter and I have business to attend to. It's within a mile of here. I can either go on foot, or if we can use the airship, we can get there faster than Kick take care of my business. Either way, I've got to take care of this first.
Steve would say, "I'm fine with whatever."
That would give us time to do any final preparation work that we want before this journey. It is going to take a few days at minimum, after all.
And she'll nod to everybody to acknowledge. And then she'll grab a hold of the ladder. And as she's starting to make her ascent up the ladder to the airship, she'll just turn and look at Steve.
We're about to meet your good friend.
And she proceeds up the ladder.
What did she say?
Oh, she says, "We're about to meet your good friend," and then she heads up the ladder.
He will look puzzled for a second and then say, "Who?"
Oh, she's already on her way up the ladder.
he would yell it up to her as he's climbing up.
I mean, it depends on the distance, I guess, late. If I would hear.
Yell it from about 15 feet away. I'm gonna say, because as you're getting higher, there's heavier winds. I'm gonna say Andonia, you don't hear it. You hear him say something, but you don't know what he said.
So what I'm gonna do is, once I'm up the ladder, I'm going to meet with the captain and the person doing the navigation, explain to them the situation. It's very close by. I will show them the little trinket. You know what I'm talking about, late, and
I'll just
request.
I'll just move us to the airship, man.
Okay, and request if we can make the quick stop. We need to follow the directions provided by this. Show them the box and what's in it, and then let the captain and the helmsman know that I will stand right with the helmsman so that they have a directional advance on where we need to go the whole time until we get there.
Where's Cinch?
He's in the depths of the loading screen right now.
Yeah. After he held you and Silas kind of like telekinetically kind of pulled you outside since you're trying.
Yeah, so pretty much
and
Steve was holding you and
then you
taking
went back to your
continuous
normal form.
damage, and then Silas saw it, and then I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not sure what to do about that. Also, Steve won't let him go, and then Silas was like, well, at least take it out of the place so nothing burns down, and then he just set you down on the floor, and then Silas telekinetically pushed you out of the door. And
Okay.
now the airship is here.
Because the moment I'm put down, I went out.
All right, move myself up here by the helmsman and the captain.
Okay.
Does anything happen when Steve comes onto this boat? Does it trigger anything?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Oh, it
you-
triggers something deep in the bowels.
Oh no. God damn it.
You feels like been on this ship before. Like being at a place, like you have a real familiarity with it, but it's like you just like the very tip of your tongue.
It's like when you forget a word
Yeah, exactly.
for an object that's sitting directly in front of you.
Being with the party over here. I'm gonna move back over here. Being here, Steve will say, "It feels like I can't put my finger on it, but something's telling me I've been on this ship before."
You want to roll?
Baylor.
If you want to roll a history check, you can. Or
As you're rolling,
you have
Phalar
advantage because of what Silas did.
Yeah.
is probably like, because he's been keeping an eye on you and like kind of passively keeping an eye on like your memory stuff. He's like, well, perhaps as I had suggested before, you had some sort of run-in with Silas in your past.
Before we do that, deal with Farrah real quick. My wife's needing something help. I'll be right back,
Okay.
and then I'll make my check.
And Donnie, as you come up to the helm, and you try to direct him to go to place over you saying, I have direct orders to take you to the Deadlands. That is it.
And she'll look at the helmsman. Is the captain there? Or just helmsman?
You're standing next to the captain.
Oh, okay. She'll look at him and she'll hold out the trinket.
This trinket came specifically to me from Lord Blackwood in the hopes that I use it to track down an artifact that this is signaling to that your boss wants me to retreat.
I have my orders. Unless you want to make a persuasion Check for me.
Let's see. 14. And she,
He kind of.
I was gonna say, while the persuasion's going on, she was gonna look at him and be like, "Besides,
It's not that far away, it's only a mile.
No other stops.
no."
Stops. Just have to get to where this is pointing, collect the item, and I'll be back onto the ship.
Fine. They start making their way in that direction.
She's gonna look off into the distance of the clouds and
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
See, while that's going on, and while Steve is potentially having recollections of everything, Phalar, his ghastly self, is probably just kind of pacing around on the deck, looking around, observing the ship because he's admiring the architecture of it and everything, probably spooking a couple of the crew members.
It's like it's like it.
Because he weighs almost nothing, and with his plus 11 in stealth, I imagine his footsteps are making no noise, so they just see this half skeletal, half ghost person walking around on the ship.
I'll say it's like. And I realize you also. I would say. Feel like you also noticed that probably within probably 30 minutes of leaving Lord Blackwood's estate, you see all the crew members just start changing undead. So it's like they just don't even give you a second glance. Like, oh, another
Yeah,
one of
so
us, I guess.
yeah. They'd probably like look over for like half a second and be like, "Oh," and then go back to their work.
Yeah.
Then
I
as
just-
he sees that,
I
he's
just-
probably just kind of to himself. He's just gonna like, some more of my kind potentially. That's
I
intriguing.
get, so 2 things. One, I'm gonna take 2 gold and slip it to the captain for the troubles.
Okay.
And the second thing, above the table, I can just see as he's like trying to float around. Phalar is trying to float around. He's just sitting there going, ooh, blah, 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 blah. He just looks at me like, ooh, I'm big face.
But then after, yeah, he notices that they're skeletal or undead or whatever. He just kind of acknowledges it with like a curious tilt, and he's just like, more of sort of my kind, and it's coming
I'm back.
from Silas as well.
What did I miss?
That Phalar now sees all the crew are undead.
Yeah, Andonia was up front talking to the captain and the helmsman, and I was walking around the ship observing the architecture, and then as we sailed off from the estate, they all started to shift from the illusion into being undead, and then Valar was like,
And then I made a very epic speech as I looked off in the clouds after we're on our way to my destination. And what I said was,
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
So as we're so Steve, go ahead and make your check.
What was it? History advantage? You said.
Yep.
Advantage.
and then there was Valar
Oh,
that was just,
nat 20.
oh,
28,
nice.
So 20 plus 8. Oh, the advantage was 20. So, yeah, it's a 20.
As you think back, not only been on the ship before, adventured on the ship before. Know this crew. You were there during. See flashes of a large army walking into a portal, some unknown realm.
can I provide background music real quick?
But you feel like you see See a Drow elf. You see Winter. You see all these figures that you know.
What I was saying is I was going to provide background music while you were doing your little thing there with his memory, and I was gonna.
Steve would stumble over to the railing, grabbing onto it, dealing with all these thoughts.
Welcome, Suncraft.
He would look back at the group and say, I've been here. I know this crew. I've adventured with them. And some other people. I see a portal. I see a drow elf. I see Winter and Derek and Victor.
I would say you also see yourself, but you're an elf. You're in robes.
I can see myself with them, but I'm an elf, plaided in robes, and on the front, I know it's me because he has the same tattoo on his chest as I do.
I'm counting that nat 20 as 2 memories. 5 of 7.
You kind of got 2 memories there, one of the portal and one of the ship.
Yep.
We could imagine it's like a chain reaction of you had a flashback to the ship, and then while in the flashback of the ship, you saw everybody around you, which gave you a flashback of the portal.
With that flashback, would I remember I was married at all?
I would say yes.
Thinking back on that, I will start patting around my persons, looking for my ring. I would see it and slip it on and say, I was married once. I do not know how they are or where they are now.
It's at this point you just hear, yes, you were. You just hear this head.
I think I need some time to just think of all of this. And he would turn, walk up this ladder, and sit here and just look out into the distance, thinking.
Okay, it's probably about after probably 30 or so minutes that the captain kind of, after kind of like constantly glancing at the orb and his trajectory, eventually he pulls a lever. All kind of lurched a little bit as the ship stopped.
Real quick above the table, I put in the general chat a gif of how I was picturing Cleve, as all that was coming to him. All right, so Antonio will look at the captain / helmsman and she'll nod her head at him, and she'll say,
I shall return. Keep the engine running.
and she'll proceed toward the ladder to go down.
As you're headed off, Phalar kind of, right as you start to get down, it's like, I do hope that you return safely. We need all of us at our full strength for what comes next.
She's just gonna nod. I'm not sure where the ladder to go down is. I'm just kind of floating around over here, like doo doo doo.
we're
It
not
doesn't,
following
it
her
doesn't really
down?
matter.
Oh, okay. I'll just boop.
We're not following her down.
I mean,
Okay.
that's up to you guys.
I didn't know.
All right. So as you descend, it's one of the much longer ladders. You have to go like probably 20, 30 down of nothing but climbing down. But eventually, as you come into the forest below, the orb it's like so bright it's almost
All right, so that's gonna tell me I'm pretty much on top of him. So I'm gonna close it and then put it into the bag, and I'll hold my staff at the ready. And then she would just proceed to scream out his name. She's doing it with like aggression.
Would we hear her screaming from up here?
yeah, it's a little faint, but you can hear it.
Steve would get off the top, come down, and just go over and look at what's going on if he can.
So you'd probably have to look over the ladder side, and Phalar would be there, and he just looks up at you, and he's just quickly like, we have arrived at her destination. She's descended to look for him, I assume.
You hear on your left. What do you want?
Your chaos and adventuring ends here.
And then she's gonna take the staff and slam it to the ground to summon the blade, and it starts to bleed.
You hear laughter now on your right. And then now behind you. And in front of you. It's like you tell he's just being all around. Look. You don't see any. It's almost like in one of those movies where there's like that flash of movement. On. Another flash.
All right, let's see here.
You rolled really well in stealth.
How far above the ground are we?
About 30 feet.
30. Okay.
All right, so his direction that he is stealthing around me, is it random? Is he just constantly going in a circle clockwise, counterclockwise? Is there any like pattern to it?
You more like it's more like a semicircle. So it's left, right, and behind you.
All right, so half circle behind me. So like, just example, like
Your left, your
if
right,
I'm
and
using
behind you.
so if I'm using like a clock, it's between 3 and 9 is where he's at if I'm staring at 12.
Yeah.
All right, so what I want to do is, let's see, if he's going left, right, and then behind me, I'm going to start on my right and then spin around backwards in the half circle and stop at the left. And I'm going to lay out one of my acid sprays.
Roll the hit.
It's a dex-based thing. Let's see, it's within 30 feet. 2d10 acid damage unless it succeeds a dexterity saving throw against DC equal to. Okay, so it's a dex 14.
Is it damage? Seats.
Okay. Does it cause like any stoppage or anything?
I would say like you like a and then this time I would say as you turn to the noise, you see the you see a flash of white skin go behind a tree.
Okay.
As this is going on, Steve will look back at the group and say, "It looks like she's fighting somebody down there."
I was waiting to see if anyone had a response to that.
I guess nobody does. Everybody's just like, okay.
Like, oh, who cares? She's
it's-
fighting by herself.
Singe
I
isn't
mean,
like where are you guys in relation to me? Because I'm inside the ship.
Oh, like down below.
Yeah, Singe is working
Uh,
on something.
I would
looking
say
at
you're unaware of any of this. I would say you notice the lurch when the ship stops, but that's probably it.
And yeah, Singe can't say nothing if you don't know.
What about
mean-
Otto and Baylor?
While they're discussing, since they could hear the first aggressive scream,
Far.
yeah, since they could hear the first aggressive scream when I yelled out his name, she's at this point, because he's hiding behind a tree, she's gonna call him out. I'm not gonna use the voice thing. She's gonna yell in that aggressive tone again, so they can probably hear something along the lines of "Stop being a chicken shit and show your face."
Baylor kind of tilts his head a little, looks over and like, it sounds like her target is showing cowardice. I have nothing better to do in this airship, so if worse comes to worse, I myself might venture down and support. But for the time, I shall wait. I'm not sure about the rest of you.
How far is Otto from the guy that Antonio's?
You're on the ship unless you're since you're on the deck, so he's about 30 feet below you.
Oh,
If I'm in the
Yeah, we pretty much dropped right on top of the target.
oh, okay.
But that means that he also sees Blackwood's airship come flying.
I mean,
You know, that could
So
have
like-
been above the table. That could have been why Ugo didn't run, because he recognized the ship, assumed friend.
friend.
Ugo's been on this ship.
Did you miss the whole backstory that Steve just had?
No, I was listening.
Okay.
That's why I said Ugo probably assumed, because he knows the ship, he recognized it, and that's why he didn't run away, because he assumed, oh, friends are here.
And then he sees Antonio jump down and is yelling at him aggressively and is like, oh shit, no, that's not a friend anymore.
I don't think he even knows who Antonio is, right? Does he?
No. As far as Ugo knows, it's just some aggressive lady.
Threatening him and saying that his adventuring and chaos days are over.
Can I see the white figure from here?
Make a perception check.
Skills, perception.
While he's doing that check, Adonia's gonna
17.
scream again. She's gonna scream again in the general direction where she last saw Ugo, and she's gonna scream something to the effect of, "My father always talked about how cowardice, or how much cowardice you had by always grabbing people instead of facing the fight head on." And she's trying to egg him on.
That's kind of funny.
I had a 17 in my perception.
Maybe this will wake up late.
Yeah, the 17. You
Hey, it
don't.
worked.
It worked.
No, I paused it because I had a phone call, but with a
Your
7,
timing is impeccable, though.
with a 17, I'll say you don't see him.
Okay.
He's just too many trees, and you're just unsure. But I'll say at this point, Ugo kind of steps out, and cracks his knuckles, and is going to and charges at you. I need you to roll initiative.
As he's charging, she's gonna say or she's gonna yell it again. Something to the effect of, "It's about time you showed your face," and then initiative. Oh God, I got 10.
Oh no.
You're gonna get
Um,
grappled.
Since he's charging her now, and I'm watching, do I see anything?
I would say you see a flash of something between, like it's there for half a second.
Okay, I'll holler back and say I saw something moving in between the trees.
And as he's charging and initiative's being done, she's gonna ready herself.
All right.
Right now, I'm just staring at Phalar's butt. Apparently, that's what's on my screen.
This
Above
fight's
table,
it's gonna be
like
theater
I
of the mind.
said, if like I said, Phalar pretty much said, "Oh hey, I don't really got anything to do, so I'm gonna wait." And then if it sounds like, or can see that Andonia's not doing well, I mean, sure, I'll join in.
So what I'm gonna do late is I'm gonna put myself up on top of this little thingy here, and then we can use this as kind of what's going on down there.
Where are you?
Right.
I was heading.
So that way we don't have to load another map.
Yeah. Okay, and we'll say Ugo is there.
Oh, that's a new feature. That ray of light.
It really isn't.
Oh.
They
There
did
isn't-
add the ability to ping, though. You can ping and gesture in the Tailspire now. No, I don't know how it looks because Tailspire is loading for me, but I haven't asked anybody to stream yet because we've been mostly doing dialogue and everything, and I haven't entered combat.
Oh, I can stream in Discord too.
I mean, if you want to. I was just waiting until we got into combat to do it.
You're not missing much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have very vivid, imaginary abilities, so I've just been painting the image in my head this whole time. I was like, I don't need the stream unless we're doing something where I need to direct someone to move me somewhere.
All right, so Ugo's gonna charge up and just 2 unarmed strikes toward you.
That's not the Ugo I know. You're going for the grapple.
Well, Antonio also called him out for being chicken shit and always grappling instead of facing his foes. So
He's probably like, oh crap, she knows my strategy somehow.
It's a 22 to hit
yeah,
and a 28 to hit.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Fortunately for you, I put it was 11. I think it was either 11 or 12. I think. kick them.
Oh.
Enough.
It's only 6 level difference. You got this.
Oh yeah. You rolled a thing to see if you could see them. Were you able to see them?
I wasn't at first, but then I saw something white and big dashing between the trees, and I yelled that back.
Yeah. So Phalar, having remarked that he's willing to help if need be, would probably be like, "You try to keep an eye on them and tell me if it looks like our friend is getting on the losing end of the fight."
Otto, Otto's gonna ask, can you point me where you think he is?
Yes. And then, if you're looking at the map, right there, wherever that purple thing's flashing.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, that's the ping.
So no, that's 11 for the first attack.
Oh, that's instant miss.
And 10 for the second. And he's going to use his bonus action and rage.
Uh-oh.
And he grows way bigger than you. It's like after he hits you hard twice in the stomach, and you see him just smirk as he grows in size, now just towering over you.
All right. Is speaking still a free action during
Yeah.
battle?
Yeah, I would also say as he grows, Steve, you now just see this head with marks on with bald head with marks on his head, just like very clearly between the trees.
I would
Above
go-
table. Oh, sorry. I was gonna say above table. Since he had the flashback of being with the party, does he recognize the head?
Yeah, you instantly know this is Ugo.
I would yell back without even realizing it and yell, "It's Ugo!"
So
And,
he found his target.
and above table, I think we have bigger problems. There's a metal golem coming from the bowels of the ship.
Oh.
It's actually just walking around the steps, hopping up and down them. Looks
But
like
yeah,
it's just trying to learn to walk. As my steel defender is walking around with Singe in it.
Steve would yell back saying, "It's Ugo."
The steel defender is Ugo.
Oh yes, he underwent biomechanical integration.
It's like that episode of Simpsons where Burns got shot and the only thing he could say was Homer Simpson. So right now to Steve, everybody's Ugo.
All right.
I'm Ugo, he's Ugo, you're Ugo. Are there any other Ugos I should know about?
All right, your turn.
All right. So I gotta find the ability real quick. Sorry.
So do I see his head pretty clear?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
he's like his head is like even with the trees, so he's about as big as a tree.
Okay. I'll wait until after her turn before I say what I'm gonna do.
All right. So use my bonus action, and I'm gonna heal all the damage I took
Okay.
with my invoke hell and bolden,
All right.
and then gonna swing with the scythe.
All right.
Oh god. The dice is in the way. I can't fucking see. 11.
Misses. It's like you go to swing toward him, he just like swats it away. Continue to laugh. Is that all you got?
Hmm. Let me see here. Where's the one thing? Okay.
I think the best way to describe our party is that we have a paladin and an evil paladin. It's pretty much what an ill-rigger is.
Yeah, basically.
I once told somebody the best way to describe an ill-rigger is that the ill-rigger is to the paladin what a warlock is to a wizard.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of do a twofer here. I'm gonna do an attack while I'm yelling something.
All right.
So I'll do the yell part first, and then I'll go to attack, or then I'll roll and do the attack and stuff. So the first, or I'm gonna yell the aggressive. So it's loud enough so upstairs can hear. To the effect of, something along the lines of, could use the support of my snipers, and then I'm gonna swing. 17.
That hits.
Cool, thank God. All right. All right.
Yeah, I'm not
Alright,
giving
so-
him the 8.
Hold on.
Reduced to
Hold on. I have an ability that goes with this. I have cruelty. So
add a
D6s. Yep, I can add damage when I damage a creature. So I'm gonna add a D6 to that. So another 4. And then I want to put the necrotic seal on him.
That's 12 reduced to 6. Like you cut into him, and that seal getting from where the wound is.
Alright, so attack, did my bonus to heal myself. I'll yell the sniper thing again, and then I'll end my turn. So I don't know if
So
they get anything in between this.
Yeah. I'll let.
I was gonna ask if I could interject.
Yeah. I'll say
Since Baylor did directly say he is on standby, so
So is Phalar gonna start heading down?
I shall enter initiative. Will you allow me to perform like
I was gonna
an
say
interjected turn or something?
Since he weighs like nothing, can't he just jump off the edge and float down?
I do. I actually have, because of my disembodied traits, I do have Featherfall, so
I mean,
I have to cast it to use it. But I was gonna ask if I could would I just enter initiative, or could I do something since I was on standby before I go into initiative?
I'll let you do something, but you're probably not going to be into actual melee range until probably the start of next turn.
Yeah, until I actually
get down there.
until it gets to my turn once I enter initiative.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and roll.
So I'll roll and then just tell you what I want to do before my engagement. Well, I rolled a 20. It's a dirty 20, but it's a 20. That's damn high considering it's me.
Oh, you beat Ugo in the initiative.
So I say we'll probably just count what I'm about to do as being my turn.
Yeah.
So, he's gonna kind of stiffen up a little bit, draw his dagger in the reverse grip, and he's gonna look down, look to the party. He's going to be like, I believe that's my cue. If anybody else wants to join, feel free. And then I'm going to, so I can still cast stuff while I'm ethereal. I just can't cast things that cross over, right?
Yeah.
I can't interact with people, but I could self-cast.
Huh?
Because I was going to action fade away and then jump off the side of the ship and then use my reaction to cast Featherfall.
Yeah, that
since
works.
Featherfall's a reaction. So
Yep.
then I just jump off the ship. So pretty much what everybody on the ship would see is they'd see me rear back with my knife in hand and then leap off the ship and then disappear into a cloud of mist.
Does anybody else want to do anything?
To follow that up before that happened, what I was planning on doing, I want to put my shield away and hold my longsword with 2 hands and make an attack roll on Ugo and jump off the ship and try and stab him in the air, falling.
You're just gonna try and like dive bomb him like he used to do to people.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold my sword down and try and come straight down on top of him.
All right, go
Like
for
an
it.
action movie hero with like the landing.
Man, you already said you're gonna do it, so you gotta commit to it. But I just pictured like if you miss, now your sword is stuck in the ground, and you're gonna sit there and try to get it out.
It's like, oh crap.
Just sitting there like, hold on, one minute, hold on, just give me a second.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll an attack. As you jump off and fall.
25 to hit.
That hits.
All right, and then I'll also cast Divine Smite as bonus action. So I'll roll the splash.
What level?
First level.
Okay.
Slashing. So that's 12 from the sword. And then spells, Divine Smite, use,
8.
cast it, yep. That's 9.
All right, as he's coming down and he hits, she's gonna yell 2 things. One, she's gonna scream, "I need him alive." And then 2, she's gonna look at Ugo and say, "I told you your days were numbered."
And you take 12 points of damage from the fall as you fall, bunch of like tree limbs smacking you in the face before probably Ugo kind of like looks over his shoulder and says, "Here's a large thud" as you come crashing through.
Where do I land next to Ugo? You'll have to move me.
Where you? Yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah, you're probably like more like 10 feet away.
See, with
Alright.
that, you probably also have joined initiative.
Yeah, so roll initiative.
Looks like Singe rolled an initiative.
18.
Ooh.
Well, we'll count that as your turn, but
That being said, I do have a question. You said they're about 30 feet below us, right?
yeah.
And Featherfall drops you 60 feet per round, so I assume is that like 60 feet on your turn?
Yeah. So by the end of your turn, I would say you
I'm
touched it.
down there, but
I
you know.
would say right as you kind of gently land, you hear a loud as you look.
As I just see him come crashing down.
Yep.
And as I'm like, you know, it probably like tears through all of the whispers and stuff I hear from being in the ethereal, and then I look over and he's just struck down on top of Ugo.
Yeah, and
Of course, I can't say anything to him because nobody can see me right now due to me being ethereal, but I'm probably trying to creep up, like, tried to land somewhere to Ugo's back.
Okay.
I'm going to try to give context to what I'm going to try to do overall so that you understand. I'm going to try to pull on Ugo what I pulled on the cultist robe guy.
Okay.
That's why I jumped off and went into ethereal, so that I couldn't be seen, so he has no idea I'm even here.
Are you joining Otto?
He muted himself. He's too busy painting happy little trees.
I don't
Oh,
even. I didn't even
didn't he
see
say
that.
Didn't he say something about his wife needed him?
That was me.
I
Oh.
was told him.
Jerry's not married.
No, I am not. I'll do Eldritch Blast. I should have enough range on him, but I think I need someone to roll it for me though.
Now, did everybody hear what Andonia yelled when Steve crashed down?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure because I know Otto was muted, so I wasn't sure.
I heard.
Otto was there
Okay.
too.
Okay, yeah, she screamed
Yeah.
out, "I need him alive." You can beat him
Yeah.
up. I just need him alive.
Yeah, Phalar would have heard it as well. He can hear from the ethereal. He just can't speak from it.
Yeah. I thought he is pretty sturdy though. You know.
Yeah. So
Do I need to roll?
here I can roll for you.
Awesome.
And
Thank you so much.
nope, that misses. And
Second one?
second one. Yeah, that hits.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say if you missed the second one, I was gonna be like, all right, put down the paintbrushes and use your hands.
So I would say like the first one, y'all hear a kind of like crackling as you see like a bunch of sticks and leaves like hits part of the top of the tree, but then y'all see this like black crackling energy kind of pierce through and then strike Ugo in the back. Takes 14 points of force damage.
And he is now beginning to realize that he is not fighting alone against Andonia.
Wait. So who can I see who is on top of him?
I don't think anyone's on top of him.
I think
Oh,
Steve
okay.
leaped down, stabbed through him, and then kind of like he did like a dismount jump off.
And then as far as anybody knows, Phalar just jumped off, and now we don't know where he is.
Yeah, pretty much all that both of you know is that Phalar was like, that's my cue, because he was on standby, and then he took a big, Olympic leap off the ship and turned into mist.
All right, so
okay.
I know. Oh, I can't wait for you to do that. I got something here.
Okay. That would be
All right. With that, let me know. Let me know when you're ready.
Is Singe joining in this fight too, or is he just?
He rolled initiative. What was it? 17.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to answer for you. I just already knew that you had rolled.
What's Singe's dexterity?
It is 14 plus 2.
Oh, so both of you have all right, yeah, we'll say both of you go at the same time.
Sure.
Well, wasn't there something like if dexterity was the same, then you go off of something else?
I mean, you can do a roll off.
I think we're fine going together.
I don't even.
Okay, so
I don't even send. I don't even see your mini.
Yeah, I didn't either.
The mini's in the ship, but I figured he could just be in the Steel Defender right now as he's hiding from the Paladin.
All right, I'll put the Steel Defender in it.
He's kind of crawled up into the works of the Steel Defender.
Okay, so late. What I want to do is, because I told him that his days were numbered, and then Steve came crashing down on him. Then he got hit in the back with an Eldritch Blast. So what I would like to do is, if it's allowed, is I want to kind of give like an evil laugh, and while I'm laughing, say "You're so fucked," and then try to intimidate him into being a little scared now.
Roll intimidation.
22.
You definitely see looking around and assessing. On his turn, is use his action to engage from you. See, he moved 30 feet in between the trees. Goes to the left, vanishes out of sight. He's up on
All
the
right.
side.
So if he disengages me, does that give a opportunity to the either one of the other two?
I'm laying on the ground right now. I have to. stand
I
up
can't
for mine.
interact with the material until I come out, so.
Disengage
Okay.
yourself
mean,
would negate
Steve.
any opportunity.
Yeah, Steve could, but it would be a disadvantage
Oh yeah, if I can, then
because you're prone.
yeah, I will. I'll take an attack roll.
It's like swinging a pool noodle at him. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Disadvantage. Roll. 13.
Yeah, that misses.
I just see Ugo like look down real quick, like damn flies.
I'll say it's like because of his big strides, it's like he's almost like stepping over it.
That means
I'll say, do you find him again? Combat is sort of at a pause.
all right. So if combat's at a pause, can I pull out the trinket and I want to see, is it still bright enough that he's still within the area?
You know he's within the area. It's still bright.
I will.
All right, so I'm gonna nod to everybody. I'm gonna head to the direction that he went.
I will stand up, dust myself off,
Okay.
and yell out to Ugo that it's me, Steve, and say, "Where's the rest of the group?" and start naming off some group members. Probably not all, but I'll name I'll say Victor and Derek.
There's no response.
Could Phalar be kind of like skulking in the direction that he sees Andonia go, like peeking around trees and stuff? Since he's inaudible and invisible right now, he's trying to seek out where Ugo is.
Yeah, I took off running in the same direction Ugo did.
Then pretty
After-
much, I was
after
asking if
nodding and
like
letting everyone know.
Phalar could. Yeah, I was asking if Phalar could, follow suit and like, seek out, see if he can locate them because, he can't be seen or heard right now, so he doesn't have to worry about being stealthy. He can just go between the trees and stuff and be like, "Is Ugo there?"
I would say, I would say you see, as Indonia's kind of around trees, you see probably pretty rapidly now at a smaller size. Ugo is moving at a rapid pace, kind of moving trees, almost
Ooh.
silently.
I got an idea.
Before you see him kind of hug the tree, pull hood up from his cloak, and you definitely tell he has the effect of.
I got an idea. Because I put the necrotic seal on him, can I burn it so that way he kind of screams out to give us an idea of where he is?
Would it light
That
up?
affect
whenever
him?
Would it light up when it burns?
It should be a green because it's necrotic damage.
What's the range for it?
Normally 30 feet, but because of my ability, I have 60 feet.
I would say also, Phalar, you definitely see he's moving pretty quickly, like booking it.
Would I be able to catch up to him while that seal is being burned and try to like intercept before my fadeaway wears off?
I do know I have to roll for a damage. I'm trying to find it again here. Sorry.
How far? Once I see that still burn, do I know know how far away he is?
I would say as he activates it, I'll just hear this.
All right, so
Probably pretty far, sort of at a distance.
all right, so it's 1d6 necrotic damage per seal, so it's just one. And then I gain whatever the damage is, I can gain temporary hit points. So if
Okay.
it's 4, he takes 4, I gain temporary 4. So d6, 4.
Wow.
Would that be enough for him to kind of like stagger so I could try to intercept him? Because I want to try and stop him before he can get too far so that Indonia can catch up to him.
Because what he's doing, he is dashing and using step of the wind. So he's like really moving. Like 30. Oh, he's moving almost 90 feet around. So I'm gonna say he's moving too quickly for you.
I would like to use Find Steed and have it be a Fey steed,
Okay.
and its speed is 60, so I'll have it sprint after him. And then it also has a bonus action of Fey Step. I can only use it once per long rest. It can teleport 60 feet.
Man, getting speared by a fucking face steed.
I'm assuming
Thanks for the follow, Slayer Boy.
by now, I'm imagining it's probably been more than a minute.
Yeah.
Because that's how long my fadeaway disappears. So I probably the mist fades back in, and I take appearance with kind of the stern look on my face. Then I look around, probably see Indonia and Steve, and then I'm gonna see if I can make a stealth check to remain unknown to Ugo.
Yeah, go for it.
How close would I get doing the dashing with the steed and the Fey Step to him?
I mean, are you riding the steed, or are you just?
Yeah, I'm riding the steed.
If a steed dashing, you can definitely catch up.
You want the dashing and the teleport? I could.
Yeah, but it's like it's this almost becomes more like a high speed car chase because he's moving at almost a unreal. He's moving super quickly, dodging between trees. You're galloping alongside him. So I would say
So
you're not faster than him. You're going about. You're like neck and neck.
And I rolled a 21
Yeah, you're good.
for my stealth. So everyone would just see me appear out of my thing, get like a little bit of an upset look for a moment because I didn't catch up to him in time, and then I duck behind a tree and I'm just gone again.
So he's moving at 90 feet around, so he's moving about 30 feet quicker than my steed can move. Can I, while on the steed, cast Hold Person on him?
Yeah.
He'll need to make a Wisdom 13 save or higher.
That is not his strong suit ever.
Would it be
He
at
wasn't
disadvantage
very
since
wise
he's-
now.
Since he's running, too?
What's the DC?
Where'd it go? Hold Person. Wisdom 13.
He succeeded. I rolled an 18. I would say like that spell's enough to like slow him down just a little bit, enough to like probably cut him off.
Okay, with that, can I throw a javelin at him? I have him on that.
Yeah, go for it.
I used to be a pale-skinned adventurer like you. Then I took a javelin to the knee.
That's an 11.
Misses.
I'll throw another one. I have 5 of them. I think. Let's see. How many do I
Of course, while this is all going on, Phalar is probably falling a little bit behind, but his plan is once he gets close enough, if they can manage to stop him, he's going to come up behind Ugo. He
see,
does
I have
best when he's unseen.
6. I have 5 left. I'll try and throw another one at him if I can.
All right. Yeah, I would say you have enough time maybe to throw one more before he keeps going.
25.
Whew.
That hits. He's gonna use.
Ooh.
He's gonna use his reaction to deflect missile. You as you throw it. Actually, roll damage first. It's
7.
yeah. I'll say you watch him grab it out of midair, spin, and then knock it right back at you. Yeah, you take 7 as he grabs it and chucks it right back at you. And then he just looks at you once. Feel like I know.
I'd yell out to him to stop. It's me. Was with his party, and I'd try and say the names again.
No. Y'all left me. I don't trust you. He's gonna keep going.
Persuasion? Sorry.
Unless you want to try and persuade him to stay. Tell you right now, it's a high DC.
Persuasion.
Is he within...
Yeah,
Give me a second here.
I mean, and then I'll say you're probably like, I would say you're definitely approaching as you see this interaction before you see him try and move off again.
Am I within 60 feet of them?
Yes.
I kind of wonder how far behind I am.
All right, so he's about to do persuasion, so I'm going to invoke Hell Vitalize, and for 1 minute, he gains +3 bonus to ability checks.
Okay, right now, this is a DC of 20.
Okay.
So whatever you roll, add 3.
Okay, so DC 20 is what I got to beat.
Yep.
Let's see. I won't even need it.
With 14.
Yeah, that's still like no, and he kind of like almost as strong as he is almost like pushes you aside and then keeps going.
I mean, you have that +3 bonus for a minute, so
As he takes off, the only thing I have left to do to try and hold him here is cast Infernal Challenge on him.
What's the DC?
Charisma 13. And hold on. Action. Did these two? Right. Okay. Yeah.
Say right as you're about to cast that, like as Ugo is running, there's just this wall of fire that erupts from the ground as he kind of like stops
Do I recognize this fire?
Yeah, this is probably her. And you watch
Ooh.
as that wall starts to extend. Now he's
All right.
basically in a big
I-
he's ring of fire.
Did I get
All right,
the spell
so-
challenge off, or no? Just so I know to use. my
He
spell slot?
succeeds.
Okay.
So, as that ring of fire is coming up, you said Ugo is stopping. Before I make or say what I want to, is everybody else who was chasing after him stopping?
Yes, I'll stop on my feed.
Valar?
Thalar is probably caught up by now, but he hasn't like revealed himself from being hidden, but he's just kind of idling between the trees like a hunter waiting for his prey.
All right, so you said he shrunk down, right?
Yeah.
So he could be
I
faster?
would say also all of you hear this, laughter, cackling as this wall of fire.
All right, so as that happens, he's smaller, so he had the speed. He stopped. Those two aren't chasing him anymore. Andonia, I'm going to continue running, go into the circle of fire, and I'm going to attempt to. Well, I don't have grapple, but I want to try to hold him in place for her.
Okay, try and make make an athletics.
Would it be at a advantage at all with him being distracted?
I'll say yes.
Okay. 21.
Lucky he has pretty high strength. 19.
Woohoo!
All of you watch as you feel this heat around you get a little hotter as you see in your peripheral vision a female figure just walks through the fire.
And Andonia will just smile. She'll look at her and she'll say, oh, I'm not going to use a voice thing, but she'll say, my queen, I present to you the one that you sent me for. I do request one thing. In order for me to track him down, there is an item that he holds that is importance to the person who gave me the information to find him.
She nods and kind of, as you have him grapple, kind of reaches around him and grabs his backpack, hands it to you, and puts a hand on your shoulder, saying, "You have done well. You know what needs to be done now. Find it." As she's like looking at you, you see like fire in her eyes. You kind of definitely get the urgency of what she's saying.
And then Andonia will release, put the item of importance to Lord Blackwood into her backpack. She will bow, kind of like in a more proud than she ever was before, because she completed her task to prove herself. She'll bow, and then she'll stand up and slowly back out of the circle.
All of you watch as this large, almost thing, almost devil-like figure be beyond comprehension. Kind of like as Ugo is standing there almost stunned at this situation. She just smiles and kind of the long nail kind of flicks her finger as his body goes rigid. You see these large, almost stone hands bend from the ground, engulfing him.
So I picture Lilith from Diablo 4 the way you described her.
Yeah, I funny enough was actually prepped a mini for her if she were ever to appear.
So as this is happening, and he's being pulled down, she's gonna take the scroll that had Ugo's picture and stuff on it, and she's not gonna whisper it, but she's not gonna yell it, and she's just gonna look down at it and say, "It is done," and then throw the scroll into the fire.
It gives a nod of approval because she takes a step back as a fire portal kind of appears behind her. She steps in, and it closes. The ring of fire just.
Oh, did you drop her mini? I didn't see if you did.
So kind of like a sentimental thing, Andonia is gonna kneel down,
Yeah,
and where
this would be her. At least for not her true form, but that's at least appears to me.
So kind of like I was saying, a sentimental thing.
Demon, yeah.
Andonia is gonna kneel down, and where the circle of fire burned the ground,
Yeah, there's just this ring of charred grass.
she's gonna grab a handful of the grass and pull it as she's standing up, and she's just gonna kind of say home, and then she's gonna put it into her backpack.
As you're doing that, Phalar probably finally is, emerging from the trees and stuff. Flips his knife around a little bit, puts it back into his sheath on his belt, and he's just giving like a nod of approval over towards Indonia because he's like, he has respect for the show and the hunt and everything. So.
Would anything happen with Steve being that close to Ugo?
I would say being that close, for you the only you get more feelings, but you feel the feelings you get are mostly just anger and resentment toward him. You feel like you know him, you know what you just feel like only thing he ever did was held you back.
So it's not like a damn he's gone. It's like an all right, he's gone.
Like finally, he's gone.
What's funny
It's like
was
that
they
thing
were
where
the
like when somebody
two.
leaves your friend group and then everybody's talking about it and then the one person is like, okay, I didn't want to say it, but I'm glad.
Yeah.
What's also funny was they were the two that were robbing the store.
I didn't rob anything.
Surely you didn't. Mm-hmm.
I was not in the store at all. Winter was in the store.
True, Winter grabbed both the books. Ugo grabbed everything else, but we don't talk about that.
He probably thinks Ugo was holding him back the same way Victor was.
Oh.
As, Phalar's getting closer, he's got like this kind of like a toothy smile, but like just kind of like a respectful grin on his face. And he looks at Indonia and he's like, that was quite the show that you had put on there, as well as quite the respectful pursuit.
She's gonna look at everybody, give a nod, as thank you for helping, and then she's gonna look at Phalar and say, nothing gets in between me and my task. But then she's gonna proceed to walk over to Steve. She's gonna grab both hands. She's gonna grab him by the collar of the shirt in the front.
Are you
She's gonna
pull me
kind
off
of.
the horse? I'm still on the horse.
Yeah, she's grabbing a hold of you because she's got a little anger right now.
Were you trying to? Are you pulling him off a horse?
More or less pulling towards me so that it's face to face,
Okay.
not completely off. And she's just gonna look at him. Just you can tell she's pissed in the face. And as she looks at him in the face, holding him like this, and I'm imagining he's kind of like leaning to the side right now because he's
Yeah.
on the horseback.
Yeah.
She's gonna look at him dead in the face, and she's gonna say, "Everyone gets one. I forgive you now, but withhold information from me again, and don't say you didn't, because you just acknowledged that you partied with him before. And we're gonna have a little tussle." And she's gonna let go. So now I don't know if he's holding the reins to keep himself up or if he's just gonna fall.
Yeah.
And then the question is, I was gonna say the question is, if you fall off, does the mount disappear?
I think it'll last for an hour. I think.
It lasts for quite a while. He would say, I only just had some memories of him come back to me when we were on the ship.
Then she's just gonna look at him. She's gonna raise her finger up, pointing at him, and say, "You got your one." And she's gonna turn and start heading towards where the ladder is for the airship.
Is everybody else following?
Yeah, I'll head back to the ship.
Hey, Phalar will as well. It's probably gonna take a moment for us to get
Oh,
there because we ran
yeah,
quite far.
The steed will stay until it hits 0 hit points, or if I die.
I think
I don't
since
think
So
I left the ship.
I think since it's a, I think it's a fae. I think it can fly, can it? No, or does that have a flying speed?
It has a fly speed of 60 feet, but in parentheses it says requires level 4 plus spell. So I don't know what that means.
Oh yeah, you'd have to upcast it at 4th level or higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only cast it at 2nd level,
Okay.
so it doesn't have a.
So maybe we'll say for the course, we'll say like, you climb up, and then we'll say almost like video game jankiness. The horse kind of climbs up walks up the.
What in the world?
It's kind of like
Skyrim
Elder
or
Scrolls
Skyrim.
Skyrim, yeah.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't matter what it is, you can climb it with your horse.
There's also stuff, or the ever-present. I saw a guard at one point chopping wood in Riften while also holding a sword and a tankard and bread in the same hand.
Whoa, is that a centaur?
All right, so Antonio, once up on the airship, we'll proceed to the captain and say, "The deed is done. Let us continue on our way."
He kind of nods, pulls a lever, starts suggesting course to head to the Deadland.
Oh, what's the? I mean, if you want to send it to me in a DM, that's fine. But what's that item that I now have for Blackwood?
I'll tell you, it's those 2 books that y'all stole from the shop.
Ah, okay. Not me. Don't be pinning that on me. Atmosphere was not there.
Well, yeah, when Ugo ran, he books with them. So, and Silas wants them.
Oh yeah, and I can understand why he would want them too, but if you can figure out how to replicate them, though, that would be interesting, especially considering I think that they've still got like another 98 years before we can be read for their stats again.
Yeah.
Because once they're used, they're dead for 100 years.
All right, I'm ready for the Deadlands or Badlands or.
Okay. I roll a d20. Do treble.
All right, I'm rolling.
I was gonna say you should do it since it was your thing.
13.
Oh,
You hit some like rough kind of windy spots, like a mild turbulence, but first day goes without issue.
Do we get a long rest in between each day?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
When do
I
we
need
roll the bastion?
how does
Every
Sorry.
7 days.
How do you issue a
Starting.
what you want to issue a bastion order?
Well, I imagine it's been maintaining. I'm just wondering, like,
Yeah,
when did we
yeah,
start counting?
yeah. I would say the moment y'all have yours set up, then that's when they're on the 7-day clock.
Oh, okay.
how out of curiosity, how long do I keep those temporary hit points for? It doesn't say.
I think you. I don't know how actually long temporary hit points last.
Pretty long rest.
Yeah, so I think when you rested, they might go
It
away.
just says gain temporary hit points equal to the damage dealt by the seals to the interdicted creature. That's it. It doesn't say how
I'm
long.
assuming it's probably on long rest because that's how stuff like aid works.
Yeah, they last until either you're depleted or you finish a long rest.
Okay. So
Or
I took
if
them off.
you say, get other temporary hit points and decide to discard those for the new set.
Yeah.
All right.
Steve, during this day, would like to just walk around, talk to the crew, see if they remember him, try to get more info, and search his pockets and find that coin that he has, and start twiddling it in between his fingers, and wonder what it is, and try to figure out where it's from and the symbol on it.
I'd say there's probably a moment with you're talking with the captain, and he's like, yeah, you seem very vaguely familiar. I don't know, we move around a lot.
When he says that, I will try and take off my heavy chest plate and show him my tattoo and ask him if this looks familiar.
Yeah, it looks familiar. There's a strange, robe-looking fella. We had some time ago. He's doing stuff with the undead or something. I don't know. Real weird fella. I don't know. Maybe you know him. I don't know.
Can I ask him if he had a room here that I could go and look at, if he remembers that much?
Yeah, he took the big room. As he kind of like points straight down. Can't miss it.
Thank you. And I'll walk off, still twiddling the coin in my hands.
I guess the question I have for you is, would Klaus have left anything in there?
Yes, he probably would. Some research papers. I think he had some skeletons laying about in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a couple of years, but I can't imagine that the undead crew have really cleaned very much.
Yeah.
They don't need cleanliness. They just need to be content.
Basically.
I'd leave it if, let's see, would I have left any writings or anything, any books behind? I could be working on paperwork when I was in, because I spent a lot of time in here.
Yeah, I would say there's probably research, probably like research notes on when you're trying to figure some, on the, stuff about, keeping your zombies up for longer, probably.
Anything on Umbriel or anything? I can roll a investigation if you'd like or something.
Yes.
try and investigate around the room, see if I find anything.
Roll investigation.
11.
You find what looks like what some people would think is a journal, but it's more like somebody took some parchment and like just tied it together. And you see notes on I would say notes that Klaus has written about I have to mostly research things about trying to master the art of the undead, how to fight the cult of Umbriel, because they're the ones who lost, maybe lose them. And as you kind of look down at that one word, them, feel like there's this sense of sadness. Like, I do have a family, but they're gone. Just gone. This sadness just all consuming. Make another history check.
I'm going to make it with the advantage again, so I have 2 more, I believe.
Yep.
And on that note, I also want to say, so I was looking at his stuff that he didn't have equipped. I'd say he probably left his Cloak of the Manta Ray, his Elemental Gem, and Potion of Fire Resistance somewhere in here, probably.
Okay.
I don't know if I found that or not.
But I'll say with 11, you don't see him.
Okay.
With
13 on my history.
how does he still have the +3 bonus, or is that gone?
Oh, yeah, I don't know if that's gone or not.
You said it lasts for a minute, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
so it'd probably be fading just about now.
So yeah, it's was that 13 without it, 16 with it then?
Yeah, 16 was it.
I would say you see more. You see your vision kind of flash over as you see a small village, and then you see it's all these cloaked figures just killing and massacring everybody. As you feel yourself kind of frantically running around. Running around. You have to save her. You have to save her as you're running toward a particular house. The door, push open the door. You see a half-elven woman and a small child, bloodied, dead. As you come back, you just find yourself weeping.
I would look at myself and ask, who are these people? This human woman and this half-elf girl that I see lying here dead. Who are they to me?
You just hear a voice in your head saying, "Your family." They were your everything. They are the reason why you hunt him.
And I would think who am I hunting? Is it Klaus? And that brings up more questions. Why did I have a half-elf daughter? I'm clearly human, and so was my wife.
In time. Time. There's another memory recovered.
You're getting them fast. That's what, 3 in one session?
One more, and he'll be able to try and stitch it together.
I would holler for somebody to come here,
Oh no.
show them the paperwork, and tell them the vision I had.
Anybody when you're in there?
Otto could be there.
I'd look to Otto and tell him this room feels so familiar to me, but hazy. I found this paperwork from Klaus talking about research on the undead and something about who he's after. And I've had a vision of my wife and child, and they were dead. But my child was a half elf, and me and my wife are both humans. And I'm supposed to be after someone because they were my everything, but this is all just not making sense. And I'd be tightly gripping that coin in my hand now.
Okay.
Do you remember anything when we first arrived at the Blackwood Manor?
No, I don't remember anything.
You were acting very different then.
I'd say, Otto,
Uh,
you remember his behavior changed once he was face to face with Silas.
Yeah. Could that be somewhat related to the memory that you're seeing now?
I do not know.
Why don't you go ask him? He seemed to know you very well. Well, at least the one that was talking to him at the time.
I sent you a message late.
All right. Yeah, yeah. I'll say in this moment, there's mine as more memories come back, he has more control. So probably with like 6 or 7, it's I would say at this point, anytime you want, he has majority control at this point.
So you would see Steve stumble, stand back up, come over to you, grab you on the shoulder, both hands, one on each shoulder, look at you, and tell you, you sorry excuse for a magic user having to make a pact to get your power instead of a true wizard. Do not tell me what I need to do.
Oh. Okay. So your alter ego is an asshole. Good to know.
I would say, Otto, like, as he's talking, it is cold, emotionless, and just maybe just feel this slight sense of what's the word I'm looking for?
Would he tell it's a different person talking?
I would say from your from his tone, your behavior, yeah.
I mean, also, it's not his first time seeing the other guy.
True.
Are you responding, Otto?
Yeah, Otto straight up says your alter ego is an asshole.
If he would respond, if I had my true body, I would show you real power and magic.
Oh, so this is not your body. Good to know. You want me to tell anything to him, or you're talking to him right now?
This body is weak. I will
So you
regain my power.
okay? I mean, I'm not stopping you. Although you do seem like a terrible person at the moment.
He would say, you would make not a great addition. You'd be a lowly worker for the Order of the Last Breath.
What's that?
When it is revealed to you, you will know.
Oh, I wish I'd never known them.
And then, before Steve walks off, or goes back to looking at research, he would say, I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Hold on. In Sylvan, come back when you want to learn real magic, and walk off. And he'd probably stumble, and Steve would come back. He would look over at Otto and be like, "What are you standing over there for, my boy? Come over here and help me decipher the paperwork."
I'm good. I'm good. Just wanted to say your alter ego is kind of an asshole.
Like Otto's just got that face, like, oh my god, I've been grievously offended, and then Steve looks over and is like, what are you doing? Come on.
What do you mean alter ego?
Well, it seems like the guy that was talking to Silas back in the back of Manor was came out of you and started talking to me and just insulted me the whole time.
You're not making any sense.
Maybe I'll figure out a way to show you next time.
Sounds good. Well, I'm gonna take this paperwork and we will go meet up with the rest of the party.
Okay.
I'll scoop up this paperwork and head outside.
All right, anybody else want to do on this first day?
I could like, I was actually gonna kind of ask, but I didn't want to, interject or anything, so I was just kind of waiting.
Oh yeah, I don't know if anybody else walked in.
I don't think anybody did.
Everybody else is doing their own thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I had messaged you in DMs a while back about how, like, because Phalar can, go ethereal, would he be able to see spirits and stuff? And you were like, depends on where he is, right? So, because he regains it on a long rest, and him being curious because of realizing that the ship is being crewed by undead, the primary thing Phalar probably does, besides just kind of wandering the ship this day, is while standing in the middle of the deck, he's going to use his fadeaway to peer into the ethereal and see if we have any spirits hanging around on the airship.
Like I'll say, as you fade away, is it safe to say that kind of like Baylor kind of always has his finger on the pulse of the ethereal plane because he's always kind of half and half?
Yeah, so pretty much disembodied in general, if you the best way to think about it is that the thread that is keeping him between the ethereal and material has about as much stability as a string being pulled by two very strong people about to break.
Ah, okay.
So he's like right on the verge of just getting pulled away, but he's anchored to the material at the same time.
So I'll say, as you fade away, you don't see yours around you as you're moving. You see almost ahead as the sky gets darker. Trees almost become dead. You almost feel like that pull is almost, as you're getting closer and closer to it, like that veil that separates it. It's almost like paper thin. Like it wouldn't take much effort at all to hop over there.
So like the ship itself is like pulling partially into the ethereal.
No, it's more like it's off in the horizon as you see where the ship's heading to.
Ah, so as we're getting closer to the Deadlands, the veil between the afterlife and material is getting thinner.
Yeah. So I will say, while you're in the Deadlands, you can fade in and out as a bonus action. Because
Yeah,
because
fading back into reality is already a bonus action, but my fade out is a action, so that'll be kind of interesting.
only because the veil is so thin that I feel like you could just touch it.
So then both my fade away and fade in will be bonus.
Yep. So who wants to roll for the last day of travel?
I can do it again.
Okay.
2.
Roll me a d6.
1.
Oh.
As the sky gets darker, or at least the thing is, you see this large shape, massive wings flying
Oh, no.
in the horizon, flying towards y'all, or at least for those who are on the deck. So who would be on the deck in the?
So this is the day after everything else that just happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have my fade away back.
I'm currently in the exact spot that I am right now. That's where I said I was.
Thalar's just been kind of hanging around on the top deck and stuff, so.
Yeah, Steve would be on the deck, sitting down, flipping that coin, just still trying to figure it out on the deck.
I would say, like, as you're flipping it, you definitely notice it's darker. As you look toward like almost like the source of it, you see this large winged shape flying very rapidly. Yep.
I would look up and shout out that something's approaching.
Phalar being on the top deck would probably look over and be like, we should probably gather the others.
Y'all hear what sounds like a whooshing sound, and another one, and another one, as
Oh yes, whooshing.
find them. As you see these dog-like figures appear next to y'all, start barking at y'all, whimpering, looking up in a direction, whimpering even more. One kind of flickers off and appears over here. Another one kind of flickers over to you, Phalar. Kind of barking at you. And kind of like doing a whimpering, it starts whimpering as it kind of looks over at that large shape that's approaching.
I'm gonna look down to it with a look of concern, then look up into the sky at the shape, and then he looks back to Steve, and he looks around the rest of the deck to see, like, you know, if any of the others are coming out yet. And he's like, we should definitely tell the others. This is not good.
By making me a perception check.
I can do it. I got a +6.
That sounds good.
16.
As you kind of look at this large shape, seem very dragon-like.
I don't like that.
As almost before you all have a chance to figure this out, shape is almost large, the shadow almost consuming the ship before with a loud clatter, a large creature. Where is it? All this many off here are foraging it. Now I can't. Even by going alphabetically, it's not here.
Are you able to search for it in the search bar?
Oh, here it is. Lurch. There we go.
All right, so if there was ever a more perfect time for me to do this when that thing lands in front of us, it's now.
You see,
Oh
it's
yeah,
this
Steve, you might have
large.
to adjust the cutoff so that the top deck's visible.
You see, just this large dragon-like figure. No no claws, but it just has this large kind of jagged stinger on its tail.
Wait. Uh-oh.
I need everybody to roll initiative.
This is the second time in one of your campaigns that we've gotten attacked by an aerial beast on this ship. And both times it's had a stinger on its tail. So the last one was a manticore.
15.
Someone
we were
roll for
attacked-
me.
We were attacked by a
Chimera.
Or chimera. Yeah.
chimera too.
Quick question above the table, because I know we have set a certain time frame because you got to work early in the morning. So is this gonna take longer than 8 minutes?
Yeah.
Do we want to roll initiative and then wait until next week?
I mean,
Well, what's our margin for how long this might take? Because I mean,
I mean, I was gonna let this be what closes out the session.
Okay.
so like we kill off the thing, or hopefully kill it off, and then the session goes.
Yup.
Oh, speaking of, I got a 23 for initiative. Holy shit, Phalar, you are doing great. Keep rolling good for initiative. Knock on wood that doesn't end up like winter. Every single, I know I've said it before, but every single previous character I've ever had before Phalar has been shit for initiative. I get really good attack rolls, and then my initiative just craps itself.
It's funny the huge difference between the 2014 version and the 2024 is the 2024 doesn't have claws. Yeah, it's weird, but
Does anybody want to get a picture of us all sitting around this thing as the image of the day?
Yeah. Can someone roll for me?
there it is.
Yeah, me. Oh, another guy. Hold on.
All right, Otto, the roll popped up. You have a 1. I'm just kidding.
Awesome. I mean,
I'm
I'll
kidding.
take it.
Oh, come on, D&D Beyond.
Okay, cool. Quick side note, my evil eye works on any creature, not just humanoids. I didn't know that. That is good to know.
Okay.
I just checked, it just says creature. I thought it was humanoid.
Auto.
I could curse a plant.
+2 to initiative. If it, I can't roll for you. I think Late will have to.
Taylor. Yeah. Wyvern. Singe. I don't know.
And then auto, because Steve tried to roll for auto, but it wouldn't.
Is Singe below deck?
Derek, you here?
I was about to say the better question is Singe here?
He may have walked away for a second.
Singe is sleeping in.
Effort. Once.
I think he should be in his metal form below deck somewhere.
I was
Oh, yeah,
muted.
he's like, oh, that
What
you
I
were?
miss?
Initiative.
Yeah, I got a 4.
Yeah, I'm trying to find your mini.
Oh, it's in the ship. I'm down here next to Steel Defender. This is the room I was working on it in. Back
Huh?
of the ship here.
Okay, so really, you wouldn't even be aware anything is happening. You probably hear a loud thud above deck, but that's probably it.
Yeah, I came up, saw everyone was gone, was confused, turned around and came back inside.
But
Apparently, no one ever noticed the Steel Defender.
didn't someone yell out that this thing was coming? Would he have heard that?
Depends on what room he's in under deck.
I'm right next to like one of those magic engines too. I'm not sure how loud they are.
Oh no!
Yeah, they're pretty loud.
Oh no!
I think you're probably completely oblivious.
No small artificer.
All right, Phalar.
Maximum Groot energy.
All right, Phalar, what you want to do?
Right. Are we actually all just? Did it actually just kind of land in the middle of us, all clustered on the deck?
Yep.
All right.
I would say
Alright, so that's
I would say at the moment this thing lands, all the ears on all these blink dogs kind of go back and they all poof out.
I want to know what they were doing there.
Bless me.
So then, because of how high of an initiative roll I got, I'd say as soon as it touches down, Phalar whips out his dagger. His, head kind of twitches a little bit to the side as the red veins go across his glow again from his skull side. And I'm gonna try to pull my evil eye on it. It's a DC 14 charisma save. I also just checked, like I said, because I thought it only applied to humanoids, but no, it just says creature. And I was like, oh my god, I could curse in ooze.
Failure with a 7.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a -2 to its charisma save.
It's here. Yep. Creature marked by your evil eye, you can use your sneak attack against the creature even if you don't have advantage on the attack roll, but not if you have disadvantage. Creature remains marked by your evil eye for 1 minute or until you mark a different creature with your evil eye, whichever comes first. Evil eye is also removed if a curse states that it removes it. Alright, so he's gonna be taking my sneak attack damage if I attack then.
All right, then. You're going to run up to it and...
It's auto sneak even if I don't have advantage.
Yep, you just got to land a hit.
Yeah, and I will try to do so. Do we have flanking because we're all just kind of clustered around it?
I would say so with Indonia right there.
Alright, so I still get advantage on the attack anyways. I will be trying to make a hit with the pick and pocket, of course. That is a 26.
That hits.
I was gonna say, if that doesn't, we're screwed. So that is 24 plus 5. Rolled 9, that is max damage for the main dagger.
Plus sneak attack.
Yep, gotta find where that is in my list. That's Wills from the Grave.
6, I think.
Yep, 3d6. That is an additional 11, so that is 20 piercing damage. As, like, Phalar steps forward and he stabs it, probably somewhere round its chest area, and then, like, twists the knife as he withdraws it.
Yep.
So I used my bonus action to do the evil eye, my action to attack. So I think,
That's it.
yeah, because I think my curses are my curses?
Are they bonus action?
Inflict Let me check that real quick. It's been a couple weeks, so I got to check it real quick if you don't mind.
Yeah, yeah, I know some are action, some are
Misfortunes.
bonus action.
Spend a jinx point. Jinx points. Shorter long rest. Okay, so fearful is one action. They're both one action. Okay. Also, I love it how there's a the save for my thing is a little bit messed up. So it says that the con save for Curse of the Insensate is Constitution null.
It's nullified.
It's like, oh yes, infinite DC. Anyways, yeah, that's all I've got.
All right, Steve.
I don't know how much it will take going up the ladder, but I am 20 feet from him. If you want to say it takes the other 10 feet to climb up the ladder.
Yeah, I'll say that.
All right. So I'll move. Oh, get rid of that. So I'll move up there. If I can go. And then, as a bonus action on my weapon, I'll cast Bloodletter on my weapon, which is you touch a non-magical weapon until the spell ends. The next creature hit by the weapon must succeed a Constitution saving throw or receive a festering wound. A creature with a festering wound takes 2d6 necrotic damage at the beginning of its turn for the remainder of the spell's duration. So I will then roll my first attack with my longsword. Does a 13 hit?
13 does not hit.
I'll take my second swing. Does a 14 hit?
Yes, it does.
I will hit him with one.
Con save.
So he takes 12 slashing damage. And then we'll figure out what he takes if he...
Got a 19 on his con save.
Okay, the saving was 13. So he just takes the 12 slashing, and he won't take any necrotic damage since he passed the con save.
All right.
And that will be my turn.
All right, Andonia.
All right, let's see here.
Oh well, I should have got it.
All right, so getting advantage on my swing. I'm swinging with my scythe.
Yep.
I should have done my advantage and I forgot.
25.
That hits.
For 11 damage, plus I'll do my my d6 from my cruelty. So another 1 damage, so 12 total. And I will put the burning or fire seal on it.
All right.
And then
That's your
I
first.
will.
That's your first
Yeah,
attack.
Yep, my second one I'm gonna acid spit. It has to do a dexterity 14 save.
Fails with an 11.
All right, so 2d10 acid damage. 14.
All right.
And then
Both your actions. You
Uh,
use your bonus.
is anybody damaged yet? No?
No.
All right, so I'll
It
save
has
that.
not yet attacked.
All right, well, I will burn the fire seal.
All right.
That is 1d6 of fire damage. And then I will use another cruelty to add another d6 to it. So 6 total. And then that original 2 damage for the normal damage, it'll be temporary hit points to Steve.
Alright, and how many temporary hit points is that?
2.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
And then that's it for me.
All right. It's kind of seeing itself surrounded now, and it's looking fairly hurt. It's going to make a bite attack toward Phalar.
All right.
Probably misses with a 12.
Yes.
All right. Then its tail almost coils back as the charges toward you and Andonia.
Donia's
23 to hit.
Ooh, missed. Don't get you hit.
Hey, Donia's right out of the range of me. Damn it.
I take 11 points of piercing damage from the barb of a stinger, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Oh no.
16.
The tip of that looked poisoned.
And it's a failure. $22 points of poison damage.
Okay. Yeah, I'm below half.
And then it is going to let me lift up into the air about 5 feet. And a flapping down.
When it takes flight, with it being surrounded, do we get an attack?
Yep, attacks of opportunity.
All right, I'm swinging with my
Oh,
scythe.
god damn.
Yeah.
So wait, did we all just get an up?
I rolled a 1.
No.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll say you
I just spin in a circle.
yeah, you're just doing twirlies basically.
It's just a complete whiff. You just don't hit.
As I spin 360, I'll just go wee.
Is this would he still be considered flanked right now? So would we still get
Oh.
advantage or no?
Yeah, I didn't roll for advantage.
I would say since he's leaving, I'm gonna say no.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll swing my sword at him. 23.
That hits.
Oh.
That's a 7 slashing.
All right.
And
I'm sorry.
I want to aim for its wing and try and nick its wing to make it harder to flap.
I know that O was kind of loud. It was just there's the significant difference.
It's fun.
I would say like you like that like stretched skin. I would say there's like a small hole in it now, because it's still flapping, looking down at all of you. Phalar, you get one too.
Yeah. That has my sneak attack on it, right? Because of the evil eye.
Yeah. And also because technically, yeah. If you land.
I'm assuming a 23 hits because somebody else hit with a 23.
Yep.
Damage. Eight and 6.
14.
Yeah. $14 piercing.
Go for its wing.
Yeah, I don't think he has, because since he has daggers, I don't think he'd be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's piercing. I could put a hole in it, but it's not going to be a very big hole. It's probably going to be like a dime-sized hole. The dagger that I have is pretty much kind of like a stiletto blade, so...
Alright, is Singe, I guess, is just working below? Oblivious to everything?
Oh, where's Otto? Did he even roll initiative?
Did he?
I thought he
Jerry-
did.
Jerry's been super quiet. I didn't even see him taking a. I don't even see as many.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't.
Yeah,
I,
you didn't.
I didn't see the initiative in the thing.
Oh no, someone was supposed to roll for him.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Late was because he's
Uh.
not on.
Oh yeah,
You
it's
get
not.
to, you get to go after everybody.
I can get on now. I can get on now. I just got back home.
Oh yeah, sure. We're almost done. Now you're gonna get on.
Now we gotta go for another hour because he's on.
Yeah.
Way to go.
2 hours
Jerry.
late.
Now we gotta go for another hour to make up for it.
Oh no, you don't have to.
I have no earth. Oh, way on earth I'd be able to do that.
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't
Characters.
see all those.
I
He's in the
can-
room where me and Steve were. I don't know if he came out though for the next day.
Maybe not.
Hold on, I gotta.
Yeah, he's still in that room. I see him.
Yeah, I'll. These. Oh,
I
no.
rolled a 12.
Yep. So that means.
What's that?
I'm just talking about the initiative order. He was right before you. I mean, Sen's just kind of oblivious to everything. Right?
Yep.
All right, Otto. So, what do you want to?
How close is he to the
Uh,
to the beast?
he is 29 feet or so, almost 30 probably.
Yeah, he's
flying.
about 5 feet up in the air.
All right. Well, close.
So about 34.
Oh. Okay. I'll just shoot Eldritch Blast at it.
All right, you at your sheet, or do you want me to do it?
I can do it.
Okay,
All right. First one to hit. 24.
that hits.
Oh my god, terrible.
I probably could have saved Adonia too from that damage. I forgot
6
I have
damage.
that.
All right.
That's the first one.
Oh, so
Second
just
one
yet
to
another
hit.
reason for Indonia to be pissed off at Steve.
20.
What was the
So
second one?
the second one. Yeah, 22.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright. Oh, 13 damage. So together it's 19. 19 force damage.
Looking pretty hurt. He looks like he.
And
I would say y'all can tell he's definitely having second thoughts about maybe I should just get out of here.
We need to skin him. Take his hide.
Well, I'm gonna roll
uh,
a intelligence.
that will be
Not
it
great.
for him.
I'll roll for it. No, he's gonna stay. Not smart. Intelligence of 5.
He's probably sitting back going, I could leave, but that would mean I have to deal with the wife.
Uh,
All right, Baylor.
All right. So it's pretty much it's like, oh crap, maybe I shouldn't have gone here.
You definitely get a sense of it's panicking.
So now, since we got opportunity attacks, it's out of my melee range then, right?
Yeah, it's about. It flew up about 5 feet.
So if I was 5 feet, it would be about 10 feet now.
Yeah,
Like if we were to count like out of, so I wouldn't get disadvantage on ranged.
would not.
Let me wait for D&D Beyond to reload real quick. Do we still have another long rest after this encounter before we land?
Yes.
I'm going to cast Ray of Sickness. My shadow touched feet, range of 60 feet. That's my action. Actually, wait. Better idea. It's still marked with my evil eye, right?
Yep.
I'm going to trigger Curse of the Insensate.
What does that do?
It is blinded and deafened for 1 minute. It makes a con save at the end of each of its turns, but not when it first triggers, because it makes the save to avoid the evil eye to begin with.
Okay. Okay.
So pretty much the way that I'm gonna flavor it is Phalar's gonna kind of like put his hand up, like like the uh Darth Vader doing the force grab, or like the Kali Ma thing.
Yeah.
And he just looks up to it and he's like, and now your world is gone. And its eyes are just gonna kind of probably haze over as it is now deafened and blinded.
Yeah, I'll say like where you see it's like sharp green eyes. I'll say like his pupils. There's the pupils gone. His ears are. It looks like his ears are almost just gone. Like there's this haze that's around it.
So now it trying to escape is going to be significantly harder. It cannot see where it is going. So pretty much, so that you late know what to do in that, at the current moment, it is blinded and deafened for 1 minute, and it makes a con save at the end of each of its turns, which is a DC 14. But until the ends of its next turn, at minimum, it is blinded and deafened.
Alrighty.
So that's my action. Do I have anything interesting I can do as a bonus? Evil fit away, reappear, steady aim. I do not. So that is pretty much my whole turn is going to be doing that, but I think that's an effective use of my turn.
All right, Steve.
I don't know what Blinded and Deafened does in terms of its combat abilities, but
It means that if it tries to escape, I'm gonna roll a 4 to see what direction it goes.
can't see automatically fail ability checks that require sight. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage, and its attack rolls have disadvantage from Blinded. And Deafened is it automatically fails anything that requires healing, or hearing, rather. So advantage against it, disadvantage against us.
Okay. Steve.
I sent you a message, mate, real quick. To see what you think of that before I. do it? You can just say yes or no.
Yeah, I'll allow it. I think it's pretty cool.
Sweet. Okay. Steve would go as he's moving to attack. He would yeah, I can do that. He would stumble backwards, and you would see his whole body and demeanor change, and he would say, "You sorry excuse for a dragon," and he would cast Void's Embrace at 4th level, right in the center of its chest. Or actually, at his head, on top of his head, he'd cast it.
Yeah, so y'all like, it's weird seeing a paladin like shout his hand, and you just see this large black, like almost like a black sun, almost like these black kind of sinew kind of develop from it and all consume it.
Yeah.
Make a con save.
Creatures within 15 feet of its orb must. So that would be all of us.
I gotta make a what now?
Right?
What kind of save?
A Constitution.
Oh crap.
It needs to be a 22 or higher to pass.
I rolled a 22.
Yeah, the wyvern failed.
I rolled exactly 12 under what I needed to.
So
Yeah, roll damage.
So that's 17 necrotic if you failed, or halved if you passed.
Yeah, okay.
And
What
then
is-
on a failed save, or afflicted with Void Blight, this action reduces their maximum hit points by an amount equal to half the necrotic damage dealt and persists for 1 hour.
Trying to think of what mine's gonna be then. So half of 17. I know half of 18 would be 9.
Round down.
So 8.
And then I need to roll a con also because I'm affected. So hold on. I've got to. Come on, you stupid D&D Beyond. I need to go here, campaigns, view.
I think for
Con save.
okay.
That's a 19, so.
Roll pretty badly if it's at 4th level.
Yeah. 17, so. I'd get the Void Blight. And then Steve would pass out and fall backwards off the ledge there.
You'd also see like the dragon, this wyvern turn black. It's kind of, it's like if you ever seen something like wobbling in the air. It like air black and you get rid of the AoE for a second.
Oh, yep, sorry.
Possibly, I don't know where you fall, but possible the wyvern might just fall on top of you.
Yeah, I'll just fall straight back.
Yeah, I'll say as you fall backwards, you just see this large shape as a wyvern. Falls on top of you.
My turn.
That's the end of combat. Guess we'll end it there. I'll say, well, I'll end it with y'all can get a long rest finishing the day. And then we'll pick it up next week from the Deadlands.
Is anybody gonna wake Steve up and pick him up, or just leave him under the wyvern?
We'll take the time between now and Saturday to make that decision.
We'll just let him sleep there for the entire duration.
And because it's a wild animal and it's laying on top of you, every so often it.
Oh, it's not dead?
Oh no, because if it's dead, then it releases its bowels, gases, so he's just.
Yeah, the case.
He's just right on top of Steve, letting it go.
Yep, so we'll end it there then.
I survived that fight with 1 HP left.
Ooh, I had 20.